It's Nolan.
Mic check, yeah, my mic
every
work.
morning I'm faced with heaven and hell, fighting my consciousness. See my vision clear as optometrist. I'm an optimist, a southern king. Hustle to get flooded chains. Grew up on Jewels and Wayne. Now niggas stacking like 100 ways. Walking this earth, I took control of my turf. Had to learn to protect my soul before I knew what it's worth. My homies had to work, I was clocking in at work. My virtuous reality done took us to the metaverse. Water with the lemon squeeze, passport up in my jeans. Sticking to the code, watching sucker niggas switching teams. I gotta grind, my fam eating off the strength of my dime. This industry gave me no favors, you could tell from my eyes. The money coming, had to fight for it. Meeting with them white boys, trying to make a living with this mic card. Buzz going crazy, got them straight up out the sight ward. My life story deeper than these niggas had to fight wars. It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there on this Sunday afternoon. Now, in this particular show, we're going to be getting into Jim Jones and Shannon Sharpe getting into a heated debate on Nightcap. All right, so that's Shannon Sharpe, Chad Ochocinco, and Jim Jones. Right, he was a guest on the show, called in. And Shannon Sharpe wasted no time confronting him about his idea of him being a better rapper or more influential rapper or more relevant rapper than Nas, right? Of course, we went over that video the other day of Jim Jones being on the Joe and Jada show where he initially made that comment, stood on that comment, and debated them in the room. But now Shannon Sharpe is like, hold on, bro. We got to address this in the room. I cannot let this go any further without trying to figure out where your mind was at when you said that. Where's your head at? Where your head at? And Jim Jones didn't take too kindly to being called. You know what I'm saying? At one point, he did somewhat accept fault in the way that he approached the situation, but it was only so much accountability he was going to take before he began to fire back. And he did so in a very major way in which he began to actually fall back into what I said in the previous video. I said it feels like Jim Jones is still harboring energy from back in the mid 2000s when Cam and Nas was going at it and the Diplomats were dissing, the Diplomats were dissing Nas, right? And what did Jim Jones end up doing? He said, have you heard about the Kofi list? Did you know about when me and Cam was going at Nas back in like 2005, 2004, whatever it is? You want to go pull up? I really mean it. Didn't I say that the other day? So he still ain't recovered from whatever that skirmish was back in those times. He's been, seemed like ever since that happened, he had a secret mission in his mind. I'm going to be more relevant than Nas one day, and I'm going to be able to say it. Nigga, I don't give a fuck how many years passed. 20 years? Long as I'm alive, you ain't never going to be able to get that off, homie. Long as I'm alive and got a mic and a voice, you ain't never going to get that shit off. But that's just me. And that's coming from a nigga who's probably listened to more Jim Jones music than the average person. Right? But let's go ahead and pull up the clip of Shannon Sharpe and Jim Jones going at it, because that's what we here for. All right. Shannon Sharpe and Jim Jones get in a heated debate over Jones' claims he's more influential than Nas and how Nas was always overshadowed by Jay-Z and DMX in his era. So now he wants to throw other people who are even more successful than him in the mix to try to diminish Nas in some form or fashion. While Sharpe says Jim should focus on competing with current active rappers like Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Now that there ain't even a good take by Shannon Sharpe, because in what world can Jim Jones compete with anyone from the new era when we ain't even got to go there? Anyone in the new era. Let's go ahead and get to the shits though.
Were you smoking when you said you better than Nas?
Ha!
I might have been a little bit. Well, as far as let's get this right. I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo boo when we talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I don't feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
Well, you said that bullshit.
But listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out. Nas was dope. We appreciated him. He had a little bit run.
You know the funny thing about him saying when he was in 10th grade, Nas was nice? When he was in high school, hey, I think they about what 4 years apart. Not even 4. They 3 years apart. So technically, Nas would have been fresh out of high school, and Nas dropped out, if I'm not mistaken. So it ain't like he was like a graduate or anything, but he was nicer than y'all and stayed nicer than y'all. I don't give a fuck how many songs he may put out that I ain't the biggest fan of. That nigga will always out rap Jim Jones. You're not even the most famous Jim Jones.
But Nas always came up second to Jay and DMX and all these other people. Like he
Ain't
never
no
had
shame in that. There's
He
a lot
never
of
had.
folks
He
came up
never had
second to
that
Tom
type of.
Brady.
He never had that type of influence.
So you say he always came up second to Jay-Z and DMX. You always came third out of your own crew. I would much rather be the second or third best nigga in the industry than to be the second or third best nigga out of my own circle, which means I definitely can't even compete with the rest of the industry. Now, Jim, you are literally digging your own hole, because we could have moved past that initial clip. But now you doubling and tripling down, and even as you try to clean it up, you sound even more crazy.
Influence on us, except for his first album. I already told you, I used to want to dress like Nas because he had a lot of fresh clothes that the hustlers used to wear and shit, and we used to see him on TV. He had one of the illest albums of all time. And then in high school when he had the barbecue and shit like that. So I'm a real fan of Nas, but he kind of lost me after the movie Belly and shit like that. Like I don't.
Man, go ahead on with that.
And even if you want to go off of Belly is 1998. You said he came out when you was in high school. The Barbecue came out, what? Live at the Barbecue was what, 92, 93? Before Illmatic? Might have been somewhere in there. Might even been 91. I can't remember exactly. But, so you mean to tell me he had a whole 7-year run and then you fell off him? You didn't even have a 7-year run for people to fall off you. Not to mention, Nas is still going today. Nas is still putting out quality work today. Nas just got, again, like I said the other day, Nas just won a fucking Grammy for Rap Album of the Year in 2021. You can't even step foot in that type of terrain, my brother. And that's not a shot. It's just the truth. Since you're coming out throwing his name in the mix.
That Jim.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm being honest. You ask me, I'm being a fan. I'm telling you, the movie Belly was fire, but after that, he kind of lost me. I think we was way too much into the game. Remember how this goes. Let's not.
And not to mention, by the time, if you want to talk about Nas' career after Belly, then that means you got to talk about, damn, this song is fucking evading my mind. Nas Is Like, which is a lot of people's favorite Nas song. That's after Belly. You got to think about Stillmatic. That album is after Belly. Stillmatic now, Ether. What goes around comes around, my nigga. That shit on there. Second Childhood, which is the fucking exemplification of Jim Jones. Oh, Nas don't got to diss you. All he got to do is do a fucking IG story and play Second Childhood. And Jim Jones is the first nigga that's going to come to mind when you press play on that song. That came out after Belly. We don't even got to talk about the classics with Illmatic and It Was Written, because you damn sure don't have an Illmatic or a It Was Written. You don't even have a motherfucking Nostradamus in your catalog. I don't understand why you doing it to yourself, dog.
You ever heard of a Kufi list?
Yeah, here we go, the Kufi list.
Yo, go back into your history and find out what happened between us and him. You dig? And I'm not trying to repeat history, but don't play with us when it comes to that, bro. We already went wild on them boys. You heard? We the ones that went wild on them boys. You heard?
Hey, Jim.
Yo, and people out here acting like I said I'm gonna bring the Kufi list back. I just told you I'm gonna change man. Stephen Law. Key, you dig?
Nah, look. I'm put it to you like this, Jim. Hey, bro, you been in this thing, but lyrically, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you.
Yeah,
Y'all
but look
ain't
how you
effing with
dress.
Nas.
Look how you dress. You don't even be in the same places I be in. The things that we listen to.
I can be in the church house. You can't F with Nas lyrics. I don't know who told you that. Now look,
my nigga Shannon said we could be in a church house, nigga. You still can't F with Nas lyrically. I don't know who told you could go toe to toe with that. No matter what I'm wearing, I could wear a Superman shirt. I could wear a Balenciaga shirt. And the funny thing is, Jim Jones is commenting on how this man dressed when this man probably made more in one season than you've accumulated in your entire career. Since we're now gonna start talking about status and, you know, how people dress and things of that nature, that is Play Second Childhood by Nas.
You all know you on that
things
good
that we
stuff,
listen
but
to,
you're
the
not
things that
seeing
you listen
Nas.
to. Bro,
You're
it's a
not
bunch
seeing
of
Nas,
you got a
bro.
bunch of
Let's be
40 and
real.
50, you got a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds in their panties because I said I'm better
It
than
don't
Nas.
matter.
Look at you. Look at
Ain't
you. And
nobody listen. Ain't
all in your
nobody from
film.
Dipset gonna take
Shannon,
you over Nas. And
that
nobody
shirt
from the
too,
Diplomats but you.
that
Hey,
shirt
I
too
got a
tight.
question. Hold on,
You
Jimmy.
can't
Hold
F with
on.
Nas.
That shirt too
Hold on,
Let's
hold
be
on, hold on,
real.
hold on, hold on.
That
Jimmy,
shirt
Jimmy,
too
Jimmy.
tight.
Shannon almost broke character. That nigga said, you can't F with Nas. You can't F with Nas. Oh, this shit is hilarious, bruh. Hold on.
Bro,
You
it's a
not
bunch
seeing
of
Nas,
you got
bro.
a bunch of
Let's be
40 and
real.
50. You got a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds in their panties because I said I'm better
It
than
don't
Nas.
matter.
Look at you. Look at
Ain't
you. And
nobody listen. Ain't
all in your
nobody from
film.
Dipset gonna take
Shannon,
you over Nas. And nobody from the
too
Diplomats but you.
that
Hey,
shirt
I
too
got
Can't
a
tight.
fuck.
That nigga said ain't nobody from Dipset even gonna take you over Nas. Oh, shit.
Nobody from the Diplomats but you.
That
Hey,
shirt too
I got a
Can't
tight.
question.
fuck.
Hold
You
on,
Shannon,
can't
Jimmy.
F
Hold
with
on.
Nas.
that shirt too
Hold
Let's
on,
be
hold
tight.
on, hold on, hold
real.
on, hold on.
That
Jimmy,
shirt
Jimmy,
too
Jimmy.
tight. You want to go
Hold
back to
on.
how I really mean it? I really mean it started. We could go back
No,
to
but I
the
just
history,
said
bro.
for you to even
Don't do
say
that,
that.
bro. Don't do that, bro. That
Hold
shirt
on,
too
hold
You
on.
tight
said
for you to
it.
be sticking up for Nas.
I got a question. I
Let
got a
Nas
question.
stick up for himself and meet me in a booth or something if
Oh,
he want to do something
no.
historical.
He
Other than that, we don't got
does
to
Nas
talk
say he
about
don't
it.
do that no more. Nas say he
Right
don't do
there,
that.
because he got $100 million. He's a very wealthy man. You heard he's a very smart
Hey,
businessman. He caught a couple
I
business
have.
flicks. You
Hold on,
heard?
hold on. Jimmy, hold on. I got a question. Hold on, hold on,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. Hold on, Jim. Hold on. I got a question. And
What?
this you do, Jimmy, and anything that you do, right? I've heard you preach it all the time, right? When you was playing football, your first thing you always say, "Ain't nobody here better than me."
Tell him
Mentality.
again.
You done told me
Man,
that
stop
story a
that.
million times.
Fuck he
Wait,
think
listen to
I'm
me
a
now. Listen to me
fuck he
now.
think
Stay
I'm a
with me.
fuck he
Hold
think
on,
I'm gonna
hold
be
on.
second to anybody in this
Hold on,
world
Jimmy.
but
Hold on, Jimmy.
God.
But
You
Jimmy,
heard?
Jimmy, stay with me real quick. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. But I'm just saying that mentality, isn't that how you supposed to feel? Isn't that how you supposed to feel?
You know.
Hell
So let me
yeah.
ask you a question. When you was on the field, you thought you was better than T.O. and Moss?
Hell yeah. What you mean?
Man, stop
I
it.
ain't gonna say it out.
See, the thing is, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna pick it back up in a minute. When it comes to rapping, right? You're supposed to feel like you're the best. I'm not taking that away from Jim. If he believes he's the best, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You could put a room full of 20 top tier lyricists in the room, and all of those lyricists, when it's time to get on the mic, when it's time to prepare, they're going in there with the mentality of, I'm finna bust niggas ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm the best. I carry that mentality with me to this very fucking day in everything that I do, right? However, that's not gonna make me say I'm more influential than a person that has 1 million subscribers. I may feel I can do better. I may feel that I produce a really high level of quality content, you know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to YouTube, but there's no way I can say, nigga, I'm more influential than a motherfucker who has more accolades and people look to first. I may be they second, third. Some people may have me as their first option. I've seen people say that. I appreciate that shit. The hell out that shit. But at the same time, I understand where I am currently today. I am not the most influential nigga in this space. That self-awareness is what Jim Jones is missing. How could you ever be more influential than Nas when there's not one motherfucker in the music industry today that we can say is just a full-on rip of Jim Jones? After Nas Illmatic came out in 94, there was about 8 different niggas who just made a living for 6 months as the next Nas, the new Nas. Careers wasn't like that. Their career ain't end up like that. But they had 6 months to go do shows, do features, put an album out as the new Nas, or like a Nas like nigga. That's influence. Just your presence alone, just you putting, you know what I'm saying? You niggas just picking up what you putting down and niggas run off and go try to do some shit like you. Now, you want to say, hey, we did the fashion thing. Okay, yeah, you did the fashion thing. Y'all niggas wore them fucking belts in 05. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say Dipset wasn't, big in their time, and a lot of it had to do with not only the music, but the energy and the movement and the dress in which they brought into the game. I would never take that away from them. I used to wear Dipset. I had Dipset tees. Diplomatic Immunity is still one of my favorite albums, period. I will play that motherfucker today. And I really ain't all that crazy about Jim Jones as a person or Cam as a person today. But if you turn on Diplomatic Immunity from top to bottom, from fucking Uncasa intro to What's Really Good, I'ma be vibed the fuck out. Okay? So I'm not biased. I love Nas. But I bump some of their shit too. But to think you could ever compare is where we must draw the line. No matter how great you think you are when you go in the booth, you're supposed to feel that way. But when you clock out of the booth, you then get faced with, okay, reality. And reality is always going to be everywhere surrounding you. And you got to be able to acknowledge reality. And when you clock into the booth and say, nigga, fuck reality, I'm that nigga. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how people get, you know what I'm saying, behind your music. The people that do listen to it. But nigga, you smoking on dust.
You done came on here and say, I ain't better than Moss. I'm not better than T.O. I'm not better than Rice. You said that.
I'm not playing the game no more.
Neither is
But
Jim.
when you was playing.
No,
hey, Jim, while you talking, you need to get with the
I'm
locks.
still playing.
Jada them done cooked y'all at the verses.
I'm still playing.
That nigga said you need to holler at the locks. Jada and them cooked y'all ass. Fuck is you on?
Playing at a high level.
Hey,
you better check my record.
You jumping up the
I'm still playing at a high level. I'm rapping at a high level. You better check my stats, bro. I will run circles around Nas rapping right. I will run circles around Nas.
And Jim has gotten a lot better. If you listen to one of Jim Jones' recent songs versus what he was putting out in 2004, lyrically, I think he is better today. But you're not playing. You're basically, I ain't gonna diminish Jim. But wherever Nas is at the PGA Open, you're the top golf champ. Like, fuck out of here.
Rapping right now. Right now, I will run Saturn around Nas right now rapping.
Crazy.
Everybody knows that. You heard?
He
Let's not talk about the past.
He put it down. He set it down.
I will run laps around Nas rapping right now.
You
bro.
crazy.
Jim. Oh, you talking right now?
Jim Jones, you don't even have a Death Row East in your catalog right motherfucking now. Nigga, shut that shit up, boy. You don't even have a YKTV in your catalog right now, and that's closer to your style of music than what Nas is typically making out this bitch, nigga. Shut that shit up. Like, what are you talking about right now, bro? Like, let's be fucking clear. I don't give a fuck how many remakes of a remake you do with Mano. Hell fucking no. You crazy.
Now, but I'm talking about when y'all and his prime and your prime, you couldn't see him.
I'm still in it. Oh, Cam was smoking his boots. I wasn't rapping when he was rapping, but Cam really got at him. You remember? You
don't even got a 40 side in your motherfucking catalog right now, and that's from fucking Lost Tapes 2, nigga.
You mean it? We've been getting at them boys, but this is not about that. Right now, 2025, I'm in the game still rapping at a high capacity. If Nas wants to smoke, come in the booth. I will rap circles around. Smoke.
He enjoying that 150 million, 200 million.
Okay, then. So then leave me alone while I'm on the field.
You was effing with him. He wasn't bothering you.
I'm on the field. I'm picking on whoever, whatever. I don't care. I'm on the field.
Well, you
and guess who's the most
talk? Kendrick, Drake, Weezy, they on the field. You need to call like Drake. You need to call like Weezy. You need to call like Kendrick. You need to call somebody that's still in it. He ain't in it.
Why? Kendrick ain't make my age. Kendrick ain't make my age. I wasn't dating my era. That's not my era.
He retired. Have you ever heard of retirement?
He's not retired.
Well, that's my era, so I'm calling all of them out. I don't care if you retired or not. Deal with it. If not, meet me in the booth, Jack. You heard? Meet me in the booth.
Why you don't talk to the nigga you signed to like that? Since you going at everybody in your era, why you don't talk to the nigga you signed to like that? Y'all know who? Y'all know Jim Jones a Rock Nation nigga too, or at least last I checked he was. He might have got his ass. They might have gave him the Timberland boot of a lifetime. But last time I heard, he was still fucking with Rock Nation. Now Cam made fun of your ass because you thought you was gonna get that verse, and you and you never got that verse. So maybe you might have left. I don't know. But the last nigga I heard you was signed to, why you don't talk to him like that? I don't even know. Well, you might be out rapping Cam today. I don't know. He'll drop a freestyle every now and then and still be like, okay, Cam still could go a little bit. I don't know. I still think your tightest competition is your crew. Let's put Cam. Let's get Cam. Give him clemency for 5 hours. Y'all book some studio time. You, Cam, and Jewels, and don't make no fucking no catchy hooks, no nothing. Everybody bar up today and see who makes it out as the king of Harlem before you start talking to anybody else outside of y'all sector. How about that?
And I'm just talking about
hey, call Jada.
Let's get this right. I'm not mad. It's about the sportsmanship of the game. People know I'm a very aggressive person, and I seem to get misconstrued when I'm talking my shit. I'm just talking my shit, you heard? Let me talk my shit because I am on the field. If anybody got a problem with that, they can meet me on the field. That is the booth. Anybody from that era.
You don't want it with anybody from your era, my brother. Hold on. If we really want to open up the books, you don't want it. You're not better than Wayne. Despite how we talk about Wayne Carter 6, you're not better than Wayne. You're not better than Fab. It's debatable whether or not you're better than Cam or fucking Jewels right now. You're not better than Mace today. We gonna keep it a motherfucking beam. You might be better than Fat Joe today. Might. You probably better than Mano, because Mano ain't never been known to be that good. Mano got by off of muscle, but he did improve. You're not better than Banks today. Lloyd Banks, that is, for people that don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard Tony Yayo rap in a decade. You might be better than Yayo today. We're going to go through the fucking era. Okay? Rap-wise, you're not better than Game. We're going to go through the motherfucking era. You not even out rapping Game. And y'all came out debut albums, I think, around the same time. I don't know if you're better than Bleak. You're not better than Freeway. You damn sure not better than Young Chris. I don't know if we would consider Dave East y'all era because he came out later, but he's very reminiscent of what y'all do. You're not hanging with Dave East right now. Okay? Let's go back to your era though. Who else you be around? You might be better than Jay Mills today. Might be. Probably. That's the caliber of niggas you could talk to. Jay Mills. You could talk to Mano. Everybody else from your era got you wiped down, as your homie says. Like, we gotta be clear. You probably could out rap Nori today, because Nori ain't never really been, after War Report and his first solo album. What was that fucking album? Flint, whatever the fuck, Melvin Flint story. Yeah, Melvin Flint the Hustler. That's the shit. After that, Nori was, he was more vibes than bars. You might probably could rap better than Nori today. But we just gotta keep it all the way fucking real. I don't care. You're not better than Skills today. You're not better than Mad Skills, nigga. Right now. I don't give a fuck about him retiring. So yeah. I done went off on a whole 5-minute tangent, naming everybody this nigga not better than. And you know the funny part? I'm actually about to pull up a video of Nas back in the mid-2000s addressing Jim Jones once and for all. This is finna be the stake in your motherfucking heart, Jimmy. This is from 20 years ago. How Nas felt about you back then.
I think personally, all you need to do is just either one more MC, and I don't think no MCs will step to you after that anymore, period.
But it got, honestly, I can't, like, if it was like Jim Jones, imagine putting a pen to paper to write about him. Even so nice about him, how did you do that? What's the first sentence? What the fuck do you write about him? I'm not anxious to hear the Jim Jones diss record. Like, I'm like, yo, the niggas that used to have a nigga a little nervous was like B.I.G., Pop,
right?
Even Cannabis, like Eminem. The niggas used to have you like, if we go at it, dog, we gotta go hard. You know what I'm saying? But these niggas like a Jim Jones, like I respect you getting your money. You're like, exactly, right?
But MC-wise, you're not respecting his lyrical game right now.
I respect his hustle. I respect his hustle. That's about it.
I respect his hustle. That's about it. What the fuck do you put pen to paper to say about Jim Jones? That's what Nas thought of you back then. I'm sure he still feels the very same way today. But I will go ahead and just say, shout out to Shannon Sharpe for facing you with the truth. I didn't have that on my bingo card. I didn't expect to see that happen. But Lord knows how fulfilling it was to see Jim Jones get confronted with a motherfucking busload of truth in that very moment. Shout out to that. That nigga Ocho Cinco was doing everything to try to keep you in the game too, boy. That nigga got his goddamn beret on and all type of shit. No, sir. But let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Clearly y'all don't agree with Jim Jones. But can y'all name a list of rappers currently today from his era or otherwise that Jim Jones is better than? Let that be the challenge for the comments. Show me some rappers that Jim Jones is better than from his era that actually had a career, not just one-hit wonders or people that were flash in the pan, but like real life niggas from that time period. All right? Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. All right? Y'all be good out there. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.